back to the class, everyone. Today we're up against Laffy. I'm guessing that's how his name is pronounced. With daylight saving times, this is happening in a really weird way. We typically stream about an hour after things open up, but we're streaming right when it opens up. So I'm having to record this. I literally haven't seen his defense. I have no idea what this guy said. But before we do get into that, let's go ahead and take a little bit of a look at his roster versus ours. So this should do that. There we go. And so yeah, this is our opponent. Again, another opponent with a risk rating of over 100. He has almost 400 more relic levels than we do. He has more GLs. He has more Omicrons. He has Star Killer. He has way better mods. I just really don't know what to say here. Like this is just kind of the bracket we're in this week. It's all going to be really, really hard opponents. I think the only advantage we have, you guys can see it here. It's the we have a handful more plus 25s. Like that's pretty much it. He has all three Star Killers, which that's actually a little shocking to see. You don't see many people with that. Also, Galactic Legends, super fast modificating, super fast Cat, super fast Echo. Really, I mean, this is just kind of what you expect near the top of Kyber 1, which is pretty much where we are. We're top. Both us and our opponent, I think, are top 700 or something like that. Something ridiculous, but that's more or less him. Let's go ahead and get back to what I said on defense. So I really don't know what to expect here. We're going to find out together. Okay. Oh, all right. This doesn't look too different from his history, but it looks like on the bottom wall we just have... Yeah, okay. So I don't like this Qui-Gon team immediately. This is going to be pretty easy to take down. Kanan in here, since he's not Galactic Republic, he's going to short a lot of damage. We could very easily Empire this. That's going to be really easy. Darth Revan, we should be able to easily trooper that. I think I checked speeds before, and there's not even a set there. That's going to be real easy. So we have this raid team, which actually is going to be really problematic. It's not only is it R9, but it has the anti-gas comp, so we're probably get the JML that if I'm being realistic. And then top one, what has he got going on? Lando lead, that just like... Okay, so this dashing is pretty good. Why? I guess Bam's here, but I do not like the split. And then I'm totally going to try to decide on these Jawas. No idea if it works. But, you know, why not? Like, I feel like I have to. I'm not going to try something else against that. So, that's his defense. Very interesting. We'll get to that in a minute. Our defense is pretty much exactly what we said last round with a few exemptions. We didn't put armor here. We put Nest back in. Really, we're just trying to draw out any major teams that he has, so that on the off chance that he gets to the back wall and he doesn't have something to clear JMK. Which the fact that this is already really safe for us, because the fact that Rey is the only Galactic Legend on the board and she's in the front, we can spare JML, because even if this is loaded, let's say this is loaded with like 3 Galactic Legends, then he doesn't get past this. So that's pretty good. Top wall is pretty much junk. Really nothing to report on here. And then we're really still going for this really, really, really strong fleets area. So our opponent does have good rebels built up, so we're trying to block that as well as just Executor being Executor. But our opponent typically takes at everything on ships. I mean, he leaves Haldo and Thrawn. So he takes the 3, maybe 4 best fleets all on offense. Yeah, 4 best fleets on offense, which, all right, each their own, but we'll get to the attacks here in a minute, and I'll see you guys then. All right, we're going to begin into the battles now. We're going to be starting off with one of my favorites now is using Iden Troopers versus Mon Mothma. Had a wild amount of success with this. This is, I think, the 4th or 5th time we've used this against an entirely Relic, like the ideal team. And actually, this one's a little bit different as Scarecrow Pathfinder in there. But that really doesn't change the mechanics of this. One thing that I have been hearing from actually multiple sources now that we might need to keep an eye on is when you're this under-geared, like Gear 11, Gear 12 is what we have on our team. Apparently, a fully Relic team, more or less this composition, but they'll take someone out for bigs, actually results in a timeout. Just because he keeps taking turns, Mon Mothma either keeps reviving or she keeps healing, and you just can't get the team down. That might be solvable between timing the dazes and timing the death mark correctly, but it is something to watch out for. This is not as easy peasy as it would be if everyone was not bigs. Bigs being there does add a little bit of, make this a little bit more complicated, but for the most part, I mean, this is still pretty sound. It does take a minute to get everyone down just because there is a lot of survivability there. But again, with the stacking offense, they're there's not much that Mon Mothma can do to be able to stop us other than like what we previously talked about. We're still trying to work down the main characters here. They're going to be a pain, which is Kyle Katarn and Kara. I want to leave Pal there as long as I can because he's facilitating the turns, and that's really facilitating our turn meter. Because without the turn meter, if they start getting some big hits off, something can be catastrophic, especially if we don't have the revive buff up. We got through Kyle Katarn, which is fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. And now we should be able to go ahead and deathmark Kara. Because we have the assist there, we're going to call everyone. Now, Kara is permanently dead, which is super great. That is the best kind of death for our enemies. That's what we always want them to be. So we were able to get her down, and then from here, it's pretty easy. Because, again, once you start death marking them, they can't be revived, so you're guaranteed to land the rest of your death marks as well. Which is just really, really nice and helps this battle to go, not really smooth, but faster. Helps to go quite a bit faster. Gather Pathfinder has his own revive mechanics, which is a little bit annoying, but as you can see here, it doesn't matter. So, 75, 65, whatever you want to call it, really can't complain about that. Next up, our guy put down a standard Darth Revan team. I guess not even standard, like Sith Trooper isn't even here. So we're able to just go right through, and we were debating which of these options was best. We just decided to go for HK right away. That way we would be able to stomp with range. So HK dies really, really easily. And we're just going to go ahead and sneak a hit on Marauder just because I don't want to waste a dark hit just to clear foresight when we're going to be able to kill her instantly anyways. Then we get stuck behind Marauder. And this one, what happens here is really interesting. Typically, there are too many buffs. I can't kill Marauder and he ends up getting a turn via his turn meter. But this one, for whatever reason, went down. I don't know if he just... like I said, maybe he wasn't modded for that much defense. But at the same time, he gets so much of that from the buffs. Yeah, I was a little surprised to see that happen. I mean, he was a normal Relic level. His Relic 7, like all of them are. And that pretty much makes us able to get full banners here. So, a little weird, but I'll take it. Next team. Oh, this I gotta make a separate video about this. So, Emperor Palpatine, Vader, whatever. This whole team versus the opposing team. And one of the reasons, spoiler alert, why this was so easy is because Kanan's there. And no shade on Kanan. He's actually kind of decent in his own right, depending on where you use him. But number one, Jedi Anakin loses all of his bonus damage because he's not Galactic Republic, everyone else is, but he's not. So even if they do get an AoE off, it's going to be really underwhelming. Secondly, we go ahead and throw Armor Shred on Qui-Gon just so he doesn't get 2 bonus turns, he only gets 1. Fractured Jedi Anakin just to make sure that even if this does get out of control, which is going to, he won't get his free turn. And then on top of that, having Kanan here, back to what we were saying, Cam's unique just goes right out the window. So a ton of speed that could have gotten in the way of this, more health, more offense, just completely thrown away for Kanan. Like, it's not like it's Jedi Knight Luke or Jedi Knight Revan with Savior or something like that. So at this point, we're able to kill Qui-Gon Jinn pretty easily. Jedi Anakin's fractured. Granted, this all would have happened whether Kanan was here or not. So it doesn't make a huge difference. And I'm trying to kill all the ads off right now. Whack. Just so we can go after Kanan at that point. So I had to get the whack in there. And then, yeah, they're just... I mean, we end up getting full banners here just because Thrawn lets us get a little bit of protection banners back. And that's really all she wrote. There's nothing back to prevent the healing from debuffs, and all are good. Yeah. Don't put Kanan, don't put Ezra, don't put old Ben. Don't put these characters with your Qui-Gon Jinn. Can't do it. Alright, this next fight, it's pretty simple. This was an R9 Rey, and she got a ton of offense. And our opponent doesn't typically set many GLs. Our opponent, he's not a bad player, not even a lazy player. I just think that he is looking for the quickest solution to GAC. Looks like a really busy guy. We'll get to that a little bit later. But that's just typically what he does. He only sets 1 Galactic Legend. So instead of going for C here, we went for Jedi Master Luke. Because I want to save C. He typically sets an Iden team on the back wall. And I was wanting to be able to solo Iden with C. Because I've seen JML struggle a little bit just because of the amount of out-of-turn attacks. But C has really, really high success rates. Even without friends, like without Watt or without other Sith or anything like that. He's done pretty well. So we go ahead and burn or JML here. I even put in like the good comp or whatever. It is R9 Rey. I'm a little worried that they are going to kill someone here with the ult, but it's really not big of a deal. Jolie can still bring anyone back. Probably should use the protection up here, but I don't think it would have made a big difference. I am trying to, when Ray's in her ult stance and we already have our ult, I really try not to use the lead ability and just give Ray free offense by letting people gain turn meter. And yes, we didn't go for the Jolie revive there. That was a misplay. Should have done that. Because now we're killing everyone too fast. And if we kill them too fast, then we don't get to revive anyway. So I ended up doing a pretty big misplay here. So we put the taunt on just to buy time. What I should have done here, I should have basicked. The first hit would have put her into damage moon. The second hit would have done nothing. But instead we called Jolie, and we don't get Grandmaster Yoda back. So we lose a handful of banners there that wasn't great. That could have been avoided. Now there's GG Newt. Really, again, nothing to say here. It's GG Newt and Bad Batch. Try to line it up so you get different kills at the same time. That way GG gets less bonus turns. But at the end of the day, this should be, unless you're doing this massively under geared, this should really be a consistent 65 with no issues. So we're going to target Grievous here with Hunter just so to see if we can drop his turn meter via exposes. We actually get pretty close to killing him. If it weren't for B2 or B1 being B1 and knocked him down, but it again doesn't really matter. We still have the 2-turn stun held here just because everyone was stunned initially. We get it on everyone again. It's, like I said, really rather uneventful. One cool thing that we're about to do here that is really, really nice is we're able to kill Magna and B2 at the same time. So instead of getting 2 bonus turns, GG only gets 1. And then we end up doing more or less the same thing here. We kill Newton, we kill B1 at the same time. We'll get rid of the extortion just because we can. And we're really not in danger of losing any banners here. I think we just went for this because this gives protection back. That does as well. And then Newt dodged there. I don't know if he has evasion as mastery, but he dodged. That's a bummer. Yeah, 65 banners, really no issue. And then we take our own Grievous. While we're beating their Grievous for, 65 banners with Bad Batch, we took our own on offense against Star Killer. And we did this in the previous match. It went really stinking well. This one even has higher relic levels, but I'm not quite sure what it was. I think it might have been that we didn't land target lock on Star Killer. Maybe the old Ben was faster than normal, but this, you're going to see if this match doesn't go quite as smoothly as the last one. It's definitely not as much as I would like it to. So everyone's still standing. Yeah, I think the Mard might have just been just too fast, and we weren't able to keep... Here's the issue. We weren't able to keep target lock on her. So I'm trying to gain turn meter here, so we're having to hit someone else that isn't Mara, and it's not super ideal because she's the one we want dead. So again, we're going back and targeting Visas, and now we got target lock back on her. We can start to focus her down. But at this point, Magna is already dead. Newt has already died once. And all we really have to show for it is that Visas is dead. So they're... First looks sketchy. Luckily, we get enough bonus turns to eventually take them out. But our team is highly dismantled. This is getting pretty close. Luckily, GG takes them out. We lose one of our bonus turns there, so that was a little sad. But Grievous wins that fight. And then, like I said, we ran into an Iden in the back wall. Decent relics, okay-ish mods. But I really just didn't want to mess around with it. So we had to see Watt. And he didn't put JML on defense. We didn't have any other place to use C-Watt, so C-Watt got to kill Iden. Really, this fight, there's really nothing to it. Like, we've seen Iden have a pretty good chance against some Galactic Legends, particularly Galactic Legends where there's a lot of characters that are constantly assisting and or have Retribution. Granted, C does have a little bit of Retribution. But just with the one character, it's not really enough. And I think this is a similar interaction that we're going to see with the Wampa. Now the Wampicron is out there, we're going to start seeing this because, yes, he does attack at a turn, but one attack at a turn where he's getting 40% turn meter compared to the 10% turn meter they're getting, it's just not enough. So yeah, you can see here with the characters we locked, they took so many turns that we already have ults. And the great thing about Palp is he doesn't care about revives, or at least his big shocky shock does. So we get the whack right here. Yeah, I'm reading it just to make sure it actually defeats them. We're not just going to get looped out here. So we actually do something kind of funky. We go ahead and link up Range and Stormtrooper. And the reason why we rank up Stormtrooper, not Snowtrooper. Snowtrooper is going to do more damage, yes. What I'm afraid of is... I've never done this fight before, but I'm afraid we kill Snow and we kill Range. and then Storm just becomes invincible. And because we can't link anymore, we can't just annihilate him. So that's why I did that. Worked pretty well. This fight is really important because I've heard a lot of people. I was actually talking in a Discord server today with some people about how challenging this fight can be. Maul with Bam in there. And I feel like I have a, maybe I'm not unique, but I feel like I have a unique strategy here where you shoot Maul first. That way he counters and you get turn meter. Because the issue here is if you don't go after Maul first, Bam is going to get a bunch of turns because those other 3 characters in the team, Django, Candy, and Bo, are all scoundrels. So if you keep having to jump around with the taunt with the way Maul's leadership works, he's eventually going to get multiple turns and he'll get damage meter. Then you just, even if you kill Maul, you time out. So really like that strategy. Shoot Maul first, get the TM, kill him first, and call it good. Now we had Jedi Knight Revan for this Dash team. Really, not a lot needs to be said here. I mean, the whole problem with Dash is, A, can you get ahead of him, which Jedi Knight Revan can do pretty easily because he gets, what do we have, 35 speed in this comp? Yeah, we have 35 speed in this comp. And then on top of that, Dash really doesn't like it when you target Vandor. So we have more than enough tools to do that. We don't even need the mark. We don't even need the mark, but we're already able to kill. We're already able to kill Vandor really easily. Go after Dash just so that his unique is gone and he's overall just a pain in the butt. Trying to avoid L3 here so she doesn't cleanse anyone, but she's gaining plenty of turn meter. That's just a hit. Big hit. Yeah, this is arguably the Jedi Knight Revan team is, especially the Jedi Knight Luke there, is more expensive than Dash's, but still, that's pretty cool. And this, oh my gosh. So I really wanted to know, does R7 Zylo beat R7 Jawas? And Finn lead here is pretty nice because Finn gives a really large flat boost to potency, defense, offense, a bunch of stuff. And we're just not able to get the debuffs going with the thermals. I was under the impression that we would get way more. And we didn't get to use our AoE in the very beginning because they had us stunned, and then we have to start recovering protection. The whole thing just falls apart. The whole thing just falls apart. So we take probably the most embarrassing loss of the entire season with Zylo versus R7 Jawas. And it wasn't even close. Like, we were thinking about it later, like, oh, I don't know, like, maybe if I would have done this differently. R7's too much because they had healing immunity. And Zylo has no way to drop healing immunity. We're taking SLKR versus this really weird kind of bad Lando team here. This arguably, I am on tilt right now. At the time, we lost that match, and I'm just trying, I don't know why, but I'm just like trying to make myself feel good about the match. So without thinking, we just throw this in here. And granted, there aren't a lot of ground teams left, so it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know if I have a team to clear the Jawas. Like, I didn't take inventory. I didn't sit back and think. This is not wise. So what we ended up doing, we ended up killing that with SLKR, and then we ended up taking Qui-Gon Jinn with, you know, kind of the junk squad of Jedi Knight Anakin in here, and they just clean house. Jawas don't really have any other damage outside of the thermals. We go out of our way to kill Finn here first, just because he's annoying while he's taunting, so we're kind of forced to. So we get rid of him, and then we figure out which one's Scavenger, because I believe he's the one who was the unique. We kill him, and then they can't do anything. So kind of an embarrassing loss, but you know, I'll take it. I'll take this win rather. At least we know Zylo cannot beat R7 Jawas. Don't try it. Don't try it at all. It's a weird team, man. It's a weird team. Our opponent said, this is a part of our opponent's play style. He wants the quickest way to get a full clear possible. So he takes his top 4 fleets on offense. He takes Negotiator, he takes Malevolence, he takes Executive, he takes Rebels. And he leaves this weird Empire and Resistance on defense. And there's really nothing to say about it. Like, I leave a lot on defense and ships. So, like, I don't even really consider myself to have 4 completely developed fleets. I think we have 3. We're taking my really janky Finalizer instead. Like, we don't even have the bomber level. He's not even in the reinforcements. Gar is pretty clutch here, though. I won't lie. Gar is really nice here. Getting rid of that daze so that we really come at these guys full force. So yeah, ships, not to say they go about as well as you would expect them to. We're able to get Gar down, which is really nice. We're starting to ramp up just a little bit with Science. We're not hitting enough characters that have target lock. But he's going to get going eventually. Keep calling him to assist, keep getting those hits in, and Hold that, hold the big hit just because we don't have advantage, and then it's just Shuttle. And Shuttle is a really good in the butt. Add Vader in there too. I want to get rid of Vader, so we'll go ahead and clear the Retribution off of that, and then go ahead and mark Vader just so he doesn't gain any turn if he tries to do anything funny. And then we have advantage here, so we go for the big hit, you know, 400,000 damage. Kind of nice. And then Gar, I think really Gar was really important here in helping us get decentish banners. And then we go ahead and take Malevolence. We go ahead and take Malevolence against his Resistance. He does have the Bomber. He does have the Bomber at 4 stars. But at least, I mean, in this match, I mean, someone actually in chat during the stream made a really, really good comment that... this is a little sad, actually. And maybe I'm wrong, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Raddus didn't really get better with the Bomber. It just went back to being as good as it was when it lost, before it lost Houndstooth. I thought about that, and I'm like, you know, that's really true. Like, Raddus with Houndstooth, even at its time, wasn't game breaking. It was a good fleet. It could beat a lot of stuff. Granted, way more than Raddus without Houndstooth could. But even afterwards, it doesn't do a lot because we wipe out the tank almost immediately. And then the rest of this, just because of dodge mechanics, which is fun, the rest of this fleet puts up a pretty good fight. We're able to stay around just because they keep wanting to dodge everything, and that is what it is. But ultimately, Malevolence just has a little bit too much firepower to be able to take it. But they... Not terrible for stripping banners, but then again, I don't think Malevolence typically gets very good banners. And I think some of the other fleets have also accuracy measures. Like, I really want to say Negotiator has accuracy. So, well, I guess Foresight doesn't care. So, well, the Evasion Up probably does, though. Yeah, we're able to take them down. Able to get through everyone here. And there you go, 66. So, this battle was already ended. There was only a very small window to actually see the end of the battle. So, this is how things ended up ending. You can see there's 28 minutes on the clock from the screenshot that I'm showing here from our Discord server. But our opponent just ended up not attacking. I just think he got too busy. There are some other reasons, like it's just really rare because we were in the top. Both me and him were in the top 1,000. But his history shows that he kind of does this every now and then, where he'll put in minimal effort. But he didn't even get his participation crystals. Like, he took a fat 0, so I hope it's okay. The crystals are nice, but like I don't really feel like I won this match. I don't feel like I played at my best. But we're walking away with the victory, so you know it is what it is. At the same time, we don't feel like I beat him. I don't feel like he beat me because we don't have his actual results. But he had a lot on offense. I would wager that if he actually had attacked, that he would have won. So that is going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, stay awesome.